Hello guys, here's your chapter 1 test. So here we go. Make sure you put your name and date. If you need another piece of paper to show your work, that's okay. Just make sure you write your name on it, alright? Listen to my directions carefully. I wish you the best of luck. So here we go. Numbers 1 and 2. They want you to write these sets of numbers on the number line from least to greatest. Now the one thing you want to make sure you do is, I would change everybody into a regular number or a decimal. So this is really 0.7 and this is really a negative 2.5. Okay? So you want to list them from least to greatest on the number line. Here on number 2, this would be 1.5. Pi is 3.14, and radical 3 is 1.73. And then of course then you have negative 2 and 0.7. So there's your set of numbers to order in least to greatest on the number line. Okay, number 3 and number 4. You're to identify the property. Now I'm going to give you a little word bank here. For number 3 and number 4, your choices are distributive property. I'm just going to abbreviate that. Distributive property, inverse property, or you could have your choices the commutative property. And again, I'm just going to abbreviate that. So you got 3 choices for 3 and 4. Okay? Distributive property, inverse property, or commutative property. Okay? Moving on to number 5 and 6. Alright, it says you're going to be planting a vegetable garden. For each type of vegetable plant, it takes you 15 minutes to prepare the soil and 5 minutes to sow the seed. Alright? So 15 minutes total to prepare the soil and 5 minutes to sow the seeds. That's for each type of vegetable plant. So 5 says, write and simplify an expression to represent the amount of time it will take to plant the entire garden. Use V to represent the types of plants. Okay, so to just kind of guide you along, get you started, it's 15 minutes to prep the soil for each type of plant. So each type of plant would be V, so it would be 15 minutes times V times a plant. Plus, then I want you to finish the rest. It says 5 minutes to sow the seeds. Okay, so what would you put right here? Okay, and then simplify it. Alright, you want to simplify it. Now, with what you got up here after you simplified, so you had 15V plus something, because it was 5 more minutes for each type. So it's going to go here. It says find the amount of time in minutes it takes to plant 12 types of gardens. So now 12 is going to be V. So what you're going to do is whatever you get when you simplify this expression, it's going to be something V. Alright, kind of write that in here. It's going to be something times V. You then need to plug in this 12 for V, multiply it with that. That'll tell you how many minutes it's going to take to plant 12 types of vegetables. Moving on, 7, 8, 9 are just simplifying the expressions. Okay, let me zoom in here a little bit and we'll talk about each one. On number 7, make sure you distribute. Alright, remember that's a 1 in front of that X. So simplify there. Number 8, again, you have to distribute. I say 4 times y and times negative 2. You're going to go 2 times y and, of course, 2 times 3. And make sure you simplify, combine like terms. Lastly, here in number 9, I'm going to kind of get this one started. You're going to need to do the 3 cubed part. You can do that through calculator. Then distribute this dude here. Okay, but make sure we do this first. So really, it's negative 3 times 6 plus 4. Alright? Which means you still want to do the work in the parentheses, so it's going to be 3 cubed minus 3 times 10. Alright? So now take it on home and simplify from there. Okay? And number 9. 10, they just want you to solve the equation. X minus 4 equals 20. Pretty simple. Same with 11, solve the equation. I kind of like to draw my line. Make sure you get your letters on one side and your whole numbers on the other side and solve for m. Alright, number 12 and 13. They first want us to get y by itself. Okay, so you're going to need to solve for y. And then, when you're done, plug this in for the x and solve for y. So I'm going to kind of get you started here on number 12. We'll kind of do this off to the side here. So we have 7x plus 2y equals 12. We need to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 7x first. There's 0 out, so now I'm left with 2y equals, now 12 and negative 7 aren't like terms, so it's just going to be negative 7x plus 12. Always write the letter first. Okay, that's why I just took the 12 and bumped him down a little bit. And then I got to divide by 2. But you're dividing by 2 to everything. So you get y equals a negative 7 over 2x plus 6. So now they gave me a value of x is 4. So now you just want to plug in 4 for this, work this whole side out, and get your y. Okay? So that's what you got to do here in 12 and 13. Alright? 13 is the exact same way. Just follow the same procedures that I did up here to get y by itself. If you're not sure, come see me or Mr. Houston. Okay, 14 and 15. Here we go. 14 says the area of the circle is equal to pi multiplied by the square of the radius. Okay, which basically the formula is area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. That's how it looks in symbols. A semicircle is a half circle. So write an equation for the area of a semicircle. Okay? So if this is the equation for a full circle, what do you have to do to make it half a circle? What would you have to add to this part of the equation? Okay? Is it a number? Is it what? We only want to find out half of it. So if you want to take half of something, think about what you have to do. And then add it to the equation that I wrote here. Okay? Number 15 says use your answer in 14 to calculate the area of a semicircle with diameter 10 meters. Okay, so it's a semicircle, so it's a half circle. And it says it has a diameter of 10 centimeters. And of course for pi, we're going to use 3.14. So plug all that into the equation, the formula that you got for number 14. Again, I gave you most of it. You just have to figure out what you need to put with it to only find half of the circle. This would give you the whole thing. What do you have to do to cut it in half? Okay, gang, here in number 16 it says you got a rectangle that's to be made with length 4 times the size of the width. The area of the rectangle must be 100 square centimeters. I want you to find the dimensions. Hey folks, we gotta draw a picture. Picture, picture, picture. Rectangle. And it said the length is 4 times the size of the width. So we want to figure out what's the width and the length of this rectangle. So who don't we know anything about? If you're thinking the width, you're right. So we'll just call that W. But the length, they tell us, well, it's 4 times that. So it'd be 4W. Alright. Now if you want to find the area of a rectangle, all you do is take area equals the length times the width. Okay? And they tell us it's 100 square centimeters, so we can plug in 100 for area, and our length is 4W times our width, which is 1W. Okay? So now if we simplify this, we're going to have 100 equals 4W squared. W times W is going to make W to the second power. Now from here I want you to finish solving. Okay, I got it started. Get rid of the 4 next. And then when you're done that, take the square root to both sides. That'll give you your length or your width. So plug it in for W. Also plug it in for W up here, just multiply it by 4 so you know how long and wide this rectangle is. Okay? Now number 17, just going to scroll down a little bit. You can kind of look at your paper that you have. It says a bank account earns an interest rate of 2%. Use the formula for simple interest, I equals P times R times T. What is the total interest earned on $650 for 5 years? So all we got to do, again, interest equals principal times rate times time. They want to know interest, so we don't know I. That's great. The principal they give us was $650 times our rate, which was 2%, which should be 0.02 for 5 years. So now you bring it on home and figure out how much interest that is. Okay, gang, I want you to skip 18, 19, 20. Alright, I'm going to give you a pass on that. Let's scroll on down. We're also going to skip, while we're talking about, we're also going to skip the box and whisker plot. But we are going to do 21, 22, 23. We're also going to skip 25. Okay, so we're going to find, here's a set of data right here. You want to find the mean, the median. The mean is your average, the median is the exact middle, and then a range. You know, take the biggest number, subtract the smallest number. But the first thing you want to do is make sure you rewrite these from smallest to largest. Okay? I would do that on another sheet of paper or maybe here at the bottom. Okay? So again, we're skipping 18, 19, 20, 24, and 25. So just finish up with 22, 23, 21, 22, 23. Okay? And that's the end of your test. Hope you did well. See you later.